What's up, guys? Megablade here with another episode of Stoneblock 4. In today's episode, we are going to work with some resources that we don't quite have yet, but first, we're going to set up chickens and cows. So let's get started. So I hope you guys liked that little montage. I hope it went well. I was doing some work. This episode is kind of running a lot later than what I wanted, at least the kind of production of it. As you can see, I was doing some work and I kind of just get caught up. I really love Minecraft, and I'm sure that you do too. I mean, that's why you're sitting here watching my video, right? So we're gonna crack on with some progress. I'm gonna update you on what I did since the start of the episode, because honestly, it's been like a week since I started recording this one. So let's not that one, get this started. Couple of things. Let's just kind of start over here. Replication. The replication mod is pretty sweet. In the generating resources section, we've got this guy here. Starts with this raw replica. There's a little bit of this that you can get from a dungeon. The raw replica comes from an unearther. Other stone is just diorite in spirit fire, which is pretty simple to do. As long as you get some demon dream fruit, you just throw this into fire. So you just throw some of this on the ground and then light it on fire. So if I take a little bit of this demon dream fruit and a flint and steel, don't mind the chaos of my backpack there. So we take a little bit of flint and steel and we can throw that on the ground, light it, and that makes this spirit fire. If you do it on netherrack, it'll never burn out. You just have to throw a bunch of diorite in there. And what I did actually was put down this iron dropper from Irregular Implements and just set it to no effect. Drop that in there. I might have already talked about this, but now it's getting collected by that collector there. I do have a demagnetizer here, so I don't pick it up. And then it just comes over here and gets put into, it would be this one. But here I have other rock and endstone. So this guy's working on endstone right now, which actually gets us fluorite, platinum, draconium, and dimensional shards. But we just don't need much more of that other rock. That gets us the replica and Certus quartz. With replica, this is like a tech style version of Project E, right? So if you're familiar with Project E, it's this equivalent exchange. And you can see here that red matter has EMC. And if we do $ EMC, we can see everything in the pack that has EMC, and it's not a lot. And in a lot of packs, there's a lot of stuff that has EMC, stone, gravel, stuff like that. In this, it's just red matter. But luckily, red matter also has all of the different things that you need for replica. So in replica, you need to set up this station here, and it kind of walks you through how to do it. And there is an in-game guide, and here it mentions that most items in the pack won't have EMC, but dark matter and red matter can be used for more EMC. Either of these can be converted into a ton of matter, and that's what you need in the disintegrator for replication. And it's pretty decent to set up. What you need is find one of the things in replication. And like say this pipe here, if we hold G on that, it's going to open it up, and it actually shows you one way to set it up. I'm not sure why it's set up like this. It's kind of weird. But you can set down all of your things, and it looks like we can have multiple replicators if you wanted this to be faster. And you can also put the chip storage on top of the identification chamber. So basically what you do is you take one of these memory chips and you put it in the identification chamber here, and then you put an item in there that has matter, the stuff at the bottom there. You can see 16.4K on all those items, and it will save it. And when it saves it, you can then replicate it if you have the matter. So earth, nether, organic, ender, metallic, precious, living, and quantum. And you can actually look those up, I believe. You can also hit the Matteropedia and it'll actually show you. So we're looking at earth there, or you can click on these. Nether, you can see everything that has nether essence in it or nether matter in it. You can look up quantum and see, oh, there's a lot of stuff that has quantum. But the red matter has it as well. And basically, the easiest way to get red matter is to set up one of these classic Project E stars. So you get the matter condenser. You get a MK2 matter condenser, so you need a little bit of replica for that, a little bit of stress, and you need the shadow casings. So you can make this, and basically you can use this to create more things that have EMC. And then you surround it with the antimatter relay, which again, just the shadow and some stress and a little bit of power. You need the shadow casing, charged redstone, dark zirconium gems, more replica ingots, and then let's save that. It's the MK3, and then the MK3 of the energy collector, and it's the same thing. You've got to scale it up. And actually, I got really, really lucky because this, you can also buy it from the Echo of the Ancient. I got it in a quest reward. So I got super lucky with that being able to make this because you need the dark matter and void container, resonant void, crystal matrix, and the energy core stabilizer and core, and the advanced machine blocks. Let's see what it costs from the ancient. I don't even have the ancient unlocked. So I got super lucky with being able to make this, but you can also, so basically you just set a target block. So you come in here to your chest, your target block goes up here, and anything that has EMC you can put in this side, and it will try and create your target block. But these collectors actually will send the power to these antimatter relays, and that will send it into the chest. So actually, I got super lucky with one of my deals there, but you can make the red matter with dark matter and Aeternalis fuel. This is a scaling thing. Like you get more matter in the red matter than you put in. So you can continuously kind of craft and scale this up. You can use it for this. So you could set up an auto craft. That's why this little crafting station is here, because I was using the Aeternalis fuel to make more dark matter. And I was just kind of cycling it through here. But in here, I put a bunch of items in here that I don't want to have to craft, that I can just get back out. So nether stars, phantom membranes, just stuff that I don't want to have to farm. There's some AE2 stuff in here. Like I've got blank patterns. I've got the 256k storage components and the drive, so we can do a whole lot. Along with getting this set up, this obviously kind of unlocked a lot of stuff just to make things easier. I went ahead and set up all of the furnaces from the Iron Furnaces mod. The Rainbow Furnace has problems in this pack. I'm hoping at some point it'll get updated, but it sucks. Like you can see here, all of my generators are running, and I know that I just told you set this up, but everything's running and it's not working. Everything's got generator upgrades. You can see everything is running. Everything's got permanent fuel, got energy trash cans ready to rock, and yet the Rainbow Furnace is doing nothing. I've got it set to output. I've got a universal cable here. I can even throw a gate on here and set it to receive. Not doing anything, so I don't know. Like I don't know what is up with it, but even on Discord, there's a lot of people that are asking like why it's not working. I did run into some power issues, and I actually got a generator from a quest. So that was nice, and I set that up, and I put on an efficiency add-on, and a speed add-on. And so it's making 150% processing speed, which actually means it's producing 12,000 RF per tick. So we could make these, and they're actually pretty good. And we are sitting at a pretty net positive on biodiesel. I could put an upgrade on this fluid drawer, and we would have a ton of it. What I did for producing resources was set up these garden cloches, and actually, if you make yourself some of this void shimmer soil, which just takes a celestial gem and some dirt, you can actually set up an extractor, and every 15 seconds it will make one. So I've got one set up here, so I've got a full drawer of that. And when you put that in a cloche, it actually produces way, way faster, which is pretty neat. So we can see it's going a whole lot quicker. And I've actually got that being used over here to make tier 8 chicken seeds. And you can see it actually produces 3 at a time. And I'm actually going to throw these away. And I've got 4 cloches here making chicken seeds. I did tier those up. So I started all the way down at, what's this here? I've got the tier 2 seed saved, which is pretty easy to get. You just need some tier 2 chicken souls, which can come from any of those chickens there. The water, the lava, they get sand, yellow, glowstone, apple, stuff like that. So I made that up, and then it's pretty easy to scale up from there. Actually, the clade glowstone is simple. The tier 3 chicken soul, you just use an iron chicken, and it kind of scales up from there. I did have to make some mending neurogel, so I had to get a little bit into the molecular metamorpher from Cognition. This is a fun mod. I only got into it just enough to be able to make the one recipe of this, and it was actually quest reward. Maybe you just get one from the quest reward. Let's see. I don't remember if it just gives you one. Now, I don't think that we'll need any more cloches. I don't know that getting to the tier 9 seed, I will need some tier 9 chicken souls. And to be able to get that, you need either the antimatter, the awakened draconium, the timey-wimey, the neutron, or the chaos chicken. And all of those are only crafted. You can't breed up to those. So we've got to be able to craft those, and we need a whole lot more resources. So we haven't gotten there yet. Also, you can see here, I've got some of the hypertubes placed down. These, I wanted to be able to move from like one side of the base to the other really quickly. So basically you have to power these guys. So I've got wireless power here using dimensional cells, and those are pretty easy to craft. This guy. So just some steel casing and some dimensional shard gems and a little bit of chronoton glass and the world engine machine block. The dimensional shard you can craft this way, or you get it from endstone through the unearther. So 2 different ways you can go about that. And basically with these, you just place them down and you put a power cell card in. You have to craft the power cell, which is made with the same world engine upgrade set. And then you place one in there, and then it links it to your main one. And then whenever you have a power cell card in, it makes it one big giant network. So by itself, it only holds 250,000 RF. But when you put it in a power cell, it just becomes one big giant wireless network, right? Think like Flux networks. So that is the total of how many power cells I have put down. And every time I put down a power cell, it adds that total to its network. So each one of these, 250,000. Normal dimensional cell is a million. And then the advanced one is 4 million. Yeah. And then they also have different outputs. Like this guy can only output like 1,000 RF per tick or something like that. I think we can look in the menu. Let's see, the lowest one, yeah, 1250 per tick. And I think that's per side. The next one is 5,000, and then the advanced one is 20,000. And you can infuse them if you make the machine infuser and put dimensional shards in there. Is there a way to see it? Like we can see, it doesn't say it on there, but I think if you actually go to use them, I have some in my inventory. Yeah, it doesn't say whether or not it's infused there, but I have some advanced ones here, right? So they're taking in the 20,000, and this, I put it on each side just as like another further energy buffer. But that's how we're making power for now. We'll probably upgrade that. I don't know if I'm going to put more of these down because our 50,000 with our rainbow generator, that's a fixed number. You can only have one rainbow generator. There is the option for super big power with the mycelial reactor. It'll generate 25 million RF per tick when all of these generators are active. But we'll probably end up getting to this like after we get to like a mechanism reactor or maybe another reactor from something else. I also got some cows set up and bred here. I've got leads here that have like pigs, sheep, and rabbits. I did do the gateway pearls, yeah, from Gateways to Eternity. I did use one of these to get animals, so that's how I got the cows there, and then just bred them up. I did do a couple. I got the latex, the lava, the molten ender. I put a couple of other drawers here. I'm not certain if we're going to need them, but I've got the latex cow here and a puller upgrade on that. All these have puller upgrades. We do have the drip stone upgrade for our barrel. What is it? It's this guy here, the dripping upgrade. This produces lava. It's kind of slow, but I figured I'd put down another lava source here. I'm not certain that we'll need a lot of lava, but I've got latex coming in here, and that's actually making the dry rubber, and we're pulling water in from a pitcher plant. So on my water side, I've just got it pull from this guy here, and that's just an unlimited water source. I do have a hole in the floor here, and this should be moss. I thought I was going to run power to cook our dry rubber into plastic, but the plastic is, I took out a whole stack and then I just cooked it up. So we have a bunch of it. I'm not certain that we're necessarily going to need it. Up here, our chickens, I've got our ender drawer that I had set up over on that side with our cloches linked. So everything is being fed tier 8 seeds, like our netherite chicken here. I've been slowly leveling it up. Our breeder here has got seeds. And these are all the chickens that I have so far. And these are all the ones that I have that are max level. So the chicken, nether star chicken, blaze rod, honeycomb, endstone, apple, soul sand, and nether quartz. They're not too hard to breed, especially now that we have the tier 8 seeds. And then I'm just putting the drops, a couple of the drops that I set down here to max out drawers are set up here. And basically what I did was made the roost collector and put that down here and put a world item transporter down. So whenever anything comes in, it actually gets dropped into the world and then picked up instantly with this item collector. And then again, I've got a demagnetization coil here, so I don't pick it up. I just have to make sure that whatever is going to be collected by the roost collector has a drawer with a void upgrade. Because if not, it's just going to continue to drop them in the world, and then the world's going to just lag out from entities. So those are all set up there. And I've got a wall here of the roosts. I'm not using it yet. I haven't come to the kind of necessity of having to set up chickens for an unlimited resource. One thing you might be looking and you're like, how do you not have the fan blades, and how are these fan blades moving? So I think because of this flywheel, we can actually move this fixed protected structure. And This one here, we could also link it to it. I just don't have it linked. If I took out my glue, held that in my hand, if I stop this, hold out my glue, I've got it all glued together. I could glue this to it so they're also moving. But I found out something really interesting about the copper blocks in here. And that is that if you, because they're waxed, they're oxidized, if you right click them with an axe, like right now, I can't break it, right? Because it's protected. If I right click it with an axe, you can affect it and it turns it to weathered. And you can break them. And you can do that all the way down. And you can do that with all of the copper in here. So essentially, I was just messing around and I was like, wait a minute, I can break this whole structure. So I broke this whole thing out. And even these trap doors, like, you can adjust them, but you can also right click on them. Like, you can't break them, right? But if I strip it, I can break it. And actually, pretty funny, if I put it down, right, I can break it again. But once it goes fully oxidized, it'll be protected again. And the same thing with these blocks. If I click it, I can break it and pick it up. If it's waxed, I can't pick it up though. So interesting little thing there. And if I take some honey, because right, that's how you wax things, is with the honeycombs, and I wax it. Oh no, I can break it. So how do you wax it? Waxed copper. So you have to craft it like that. Interesting. So I can pick it up. And then this guy, if I make a waxed copper and put that down, see, it won't let me put it down because it's a block that's protected in here, right? But I could put down this. Nope, I can't put down that. Anyways, so that was an interesting thing that I kind of found out in here. If you right-click these copper blocks, you can actually remove them. So if I needed a little bit more room, I could break out all of those. But I think there's plenty of room in here. And I was going through some of these other blocks, like the factory or the technical blocks from chisel and stuff like that. And I was trying to interact with them with the chisel. Same thing with like the green wool. I was trying to interact with this chisel here to try and like change them, but there's not really a way to change them. I also built a little platform here because I was kind of tired of every time I would come back to the world engine from another place, you can't fly immediately. So I built this little platform so I can kind of get through that portal and come up here immediately without having to like just stop and spam my space bar. But what I want to do today, I think that's everything that I got updated. Oh, one last thing. The reason I put hypertubes down is because I went through the whole process and crafted up a bunch of travel anchors and even made the staff of traveling, which I had to make the soul binder. I had to capture an enderman. I had to get a vibrant crystal. To make the soul binder, you actually need a Z logic controller. So I had to make a slice and splice. It was just whole thing. And then you can't teleport in this room, right? But they actually changed that. So I took out my staff of traveling, and from up here, I couldn't actually teleport anywhere. Like here, I can right click and now I can teleport, but I couldn't teleport with an ender pearl. I couldn't teleport, but apparently they changed something in an update so you can teleport. I'm not sure why or what made them change it, but that's why these hyper tubes are here. And the hyper tubes, I kind of talked about it a little bit, or started to, but basically you walk up to these guys and you have to have them powered with rotational energy, and you hit sneak, and then it sucks you through. And actually, depending on the speed, and you can actually hit sprint to go a little bit faster, depending on the speed of the rotation that you're giving it, kind of changes how fast it goes. So I thought I was going to have to get around quickly in the world engine room here by using these. And then I reloaded my pack with another update, and all of a sudden, like, now these guys work. The the travel anchors work. So I'm not going to remove these yet until they get in my way, but I'm likely going to remove them at some point, just because at some point we're going to need a lot more room, and I'm certain that these things will probably get in the way. I guess the one last thing to note was that I also made the red guitar. Since we had red matter, I did have to go through a little bit of a process of upgrading though, but it was totally fine. The dark matter smithing plate, like, this stuff wasn't too bad. You can just buy the smithing template and then you can upgrade it. At this point, having unlimited netherrack and diamonds was pretty simple. And with this guy, you can set a hotkey and it'll just do like a huge AoE damage effect. And it's really helpful for clearing out hostile mobs really quickly. But I think what I want to do today is this like taking candy from a baby, this major world engine upgrade. Now that the world engine can handle some ender crafts, and that's because we did make the nitro cell, which wasn't too bad. I did have to push through, get a couple of things. The nether stars, we got the nether star chicken, which just needed netherite and a bunch of nether stars. So I did have to kill a couple of withers, and I went ahead and upgraded our energizing rods here to the spirited version, and I've got advanced power cells. This is not fully automated, obviously. I also had to set up the empower and the display stands from the new actually editions, and we needed that because the tier 8 chicken seed needed empowered emeradic crystals, and we did the block craft here. So some lime dye, some short grass, some saplings, some slime, and the emeradic crystals we get from blasting blocks of emerald, and that's with this atomic reconstructor here. And this piston here, you don't need it, but I just wanted to, I don't know, just something that kind of looked neat. I will say one more thing before I get into the rest of what we're doing. The soulbinder needs experience, and so what I did was actually made an XP drain singularity tank, which is pretty simple. Just some Eyes of Ender, a tank there, and basically you stand on it. It takes the XP out of you, and then I ran it through a tank and then pushed it into the soulbinder because I couldn't find a way to uh, deposit the experience like from my inventory. I thought it was a little bit weird. So there's that. But back to this guy. Now that the world engine can handle some ender crafts, you will need to get your hands on a dragon egg without going to the end. Within the end ring, you'll be able to find a very special vault with a dangerous fight inside and maybe a dragon egg. You will need to craft the mighty ender chicken egg and use it in the dislocator receptacle in the middle ring to summon the boss. This can be a very difficult fight if you are not prepared. The mighty ender chicken spawns with a shield that needs to be broken before it can take damage. This can only be broken by being whacked with a chicken stick. This boss also has several different attacks, including a laser that will most likely kill you. Make sure to hide during this attack. Once you have your hands on a dragon egg, the world engine should be able to extract its essence into block form. Return to the Echo of the Catalyst once again to find out how to upgrade your world engine. Note, it's worth setting up an extractor to get more dragon eggs. Yeah, that's kind of a given. Or you can redo the fight over and over and over again. And this is your dragon egg setup. So you could flip it around this way. I think you can place the egg down and then put the extractor on top. I don't know why you would necessarily want to do it that way, but we need a mighty ender chicken egg, which is like crazy super easy. One of the reasons we need to go to the end, oh, that's got a decent amount of stuff to it. It might be slightly more than the dark matter. I think because each one of these also has matter. The reason why we want to go to the end really is to get some of this Shadow Pulse goo. I would love to be able to get some Dragon's Breath. I think the Dragon Head we can buy from the Echo of the Wormrite, but that's kind of far off. But we'll get one here. So we need to go fight the chicken. And this armor, I don't know how great it would be, but I would like to upgrade to the next one, the Eclipse Alloy. And I'm not certain that there's going to be a better armor that I have available yet. I could get the Project E armor. I don't know that the red matter stuff. Project E gear negates a percentage of damage when equipped, with red matter gear having all the strongest reduction of damage overall. To craft these, you must have the Machine Block World Engine upgrade. So, I could make these, but I'm not certain that it's better without being upgraded to the gem armor. The quantum armor also is a possibility. Printed quantum circuit. We would need quantum alloy for that, which is a reaction chamber. Quantum infusion is just water and quantum infusion dust. The shattered singularity, that's pretty simple. So we could go with the quantum armor. And then that has a ton of upgrades. So water breathing, auto feeding, auto stock, magnet, luck, night vision, recharging, workbench, and camo. And then let's see. Is there something that the chest plate, HP buffer, regen, strength, attack speed, pickcraft? So I should probably enchant the armor that I have, but I don't have enchanting stuff set up. I think I might just go and try with my Celestia Gem armor. It would be nice to have flight from this, but I don't know how exactly to get lightning in a bottle. A charged creeper. Throwing a charged snowball will cause a bolt of lightning to spawn when it hit the ground or when it hits a mob. That's what we need. All right, so we can link that up. So we've got snowballs now. We'll just take 4 of those. Capture him up. Put him down right there. There we go. Now with my charged snowball, now I can just click him with some bottles. There we go. Ooh, that killed him though. Okay, that's fine. We need some lightning rods. Need an electrum coil block. I got some of those. I got some MV wire coils. And then an iron band. Ooh, we need magma lith. We just pour lava on double compressed stone. Need iron plate, Enderium block. So what do we need? Make Enderium blocks. We need the world engine, or we can melt down Enderium. Okay, so we actually have to go through the upgrade. Okay, so we can't get the Rending Gale. I think I just need to go and fight the chicken without flight. We'll put our weapon on 1, put our travel staff on 3. We'll grab out the Morning Star as well. Is there anything else that I think that we're gonna need? No. What we need to do is go to a special vault. One of those vaults is the Cataclysm Northern and Cataclysm Southern. Okay, so just coming out here to the north portal, I searched it again, and it says 181 blocks. Now we should be able to... This is the south. I need the north. Should be able to shift right click this. And we'll go in here. Oh. Okay. So we've got ethereal glass, skulk. We probably can't break anything in here. Yeah, it's all protected. And we just need... Oh, it's a wrestling ring. Oh, what? What? And how do we get in here? How do we get in here? Okay, so anti-blocks, trapdoors, and there's skulk there. So we need to use this mighty ender chicken egg on this receptacle right here. So hopefully it's not going to be crazy loud. I have not seen this fight, so I don't know what to expect. I know that we do have to hide. It said that we have to hide. What kind of blocks do I have to hide behind? None. So if we were going to hide from a laser, where would we hide? We're not going to hide in a sack. That's for certain. We could hide back here. This could be a place to hide. And there's one. There's no place to hide there. So it's only hiding on that side. There's no place to hide down here. So, I don't know. Screw it. Let's try it out. The ender chicken. Oh, he's growing. Valid weapon for force field. That just teleported me away. Can I do slash back? Get back there. Oh. He's got a lot. He does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage. So let's hide. And, ooh. Okay, it's teleporting me out. That's not a good weapon to use, apparently. We got some gray awnings. Let's go back and see what happens. Okay, he's just teleporting me away. Invalid weapon for the force field. So where's my other weapon? Let's go back to the world engine, because I think I put it in the system. Our sword, our Celestigem sword. Mob scanner, auto smoke, cauterized wounds, drops teleporter. I think that's one of our best weapons. I do have this. This is a pretty good weapon. It's 25% current HP damage and 5 fire. Okay, so let's try this. Nope, that doesn't work either. Oh, wait. You guys are probably yelling at me. The chicken stick. So let's do some water first. And we're going to try that again. Let's go back one more time. I completely forgot about that whole chicken stick thing. Click the chicken. Click the chicken. Where's he at? Eh, eh. Okay, okay, run. Run, 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 run. So we're just going to spam C. He's stuck there. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, it says invalid weapon. I think that means he put up his shield again. So let's set this back to 1. Chicken stick to 2. So we need this again. Oh, don't die, don't die. Eh, eh, eh. He's shooting. Nice, chicken. Yeah. Okay. Now, is this stuff still protected? Yes. So he could break it, but I couldn't. We got a purple heart. We did get 2 dragon eggs. It seems like it was a weird fight. I don't know if that went the way that it was supposed to. We located it. We killed it. Now we need to make the Enderium blocks, which is just egg, Molten Ender. It's going to make a dragon egg every 15 seconds. We could speed it up. Did that make it faster? I don't think that does speed it up, but we can lock it. We can link it. We can put our other dragon egg in there. And then, let's see. We have Ender. So to be able to make Enderium blocks, 8 buckets and 8 eggs. And I got the Molten Ender from this cow. A Molten Ender cow. You can use the Eye of Ender on... Use it on a cow to make Molten Ender. If I get a tank, one of these guys, and that's making our Enderium. So we need to get some lava and double compressed basalt. Oh, that was all it? 7 magmaliths, right? And then this guy gets used with iron plates. So let's go ahead and complete this quest. We got money, getting a dragon head. Ooh, what was it? Gift of pebbles? A nut. Bro. So immediately after I updated the pack, the next quest I got gave me another staff of traveling. Now I've got freaking 3 of them. So we need to submit these after we go and talk to the guy. Which one was it? The Echo of Catalyst. So let's go to spawn. Hey, buddy. Complete the stage. You will notice the work has given you some extra tasks inside your quest book. Each will require you to expand your knowledge even further. Look at all these quests. Even further along a specific technical field. Along with Enderium, you will need tougher machine frames, empowered minerals, and more advanced circuitry. Once you master that, you'll be able to craft the advanced machine blocks that allow you to push your world engine to the next level. With that, I have no more to offer you. Best wishes, farewell, new friend. So craft 16 world engine advanced machine blocks. What else did we unlock here? Anything useful? I don't think that there's anything in here that we need. Let's take a look at this. We already got this because we made the atomic reconstructor. The mob slaughter factory, we need that. We need an assembler. That will lead to that. We also need empowered diamonds. Okay, and then the power of flux. And then how do we make these? Fluxgate, Enderium, empowered diamantine, advanced machine frames. Okay, so we need to submit our Enderium blocks and do that. It's going to teleport me back there. It's going to place those down. Excellent. This is going to let us make our Swift Wolf's Rendingale there, and our world engine kicked on. It's making our iron bands. And then this guy we can use, boom, to make the Swift Wolf's Rendingale. We can use this to make the gem boots. We're going to need that. If we do project gem, we need all of these. Evertide amulet needs water essence from Ars Nouveau and the iron amulet. Kleinstar Omega, I actually have one of those, so we can just duplicate that. Soulstone, this shouldn't be too bad. Those hearts are easy. Blank slate. The black hole band. Enderic compound. That comes from Oratech. We can do that. The Watch of Flowing Time. We have to buy that from the Echo of the Ancient. Okay, so that's a little bit down the road. And then that's pretty simple. So eventually we will get to that. The Dragon's Breath. We need an extractor on top of a dragon's head. And I think we might be able to flip it around the other direction. Let's place him down. Get another extractor. And another drawer. Don't want to do that. Let's flip it around. Drawer. So one cool thing you can do, I might have mentioned it with this wrench. Oh. Doesn't work on this. Let's put that down. So you can normally flip blocks. Make our dragon's head. Might take just a second. Let's go. Boom, dragon's breath. Lock that. I'll link it up. That's a goal. And let's put all of that away. So now we have flight anywhere and everywhere. So let's put all that away. The Shadow Pulse, we're going to need to break this goo here. Pop that down there. And I'm going to need to automate this at some point. But we can take it and upgrade it. Click on its food to activate it. What's your food? Skulk. Skulk sensor. Chorus. What else? Ender pearls. That's simple. So we can take an ender pearl. We can also take some netherite blocks and place these down to get ourselves some eclipse alloy. Now, this, if I cook it, ooh, it does. Check this out. So I also upgraded our netherite furnace here, or our furnace, to a factory upgrade. And check this out. This has matter. So all we have to do is come over here and throw one of those in there. And now, boom. Give me a stack of it. Sweet. And if I put down another replicator, we saw that. If I put down some more replicators, I could probably put like 3 more down back here. Okay, can confirm. If you put down more replicators, it is faster. We want Eclipse Alloy templates. So we can do that and make 1. And then we just make more. Like this. And then we can just keep doubling them like that. Okay, so the Tesseract. How do we make this guy? So Molten Ender and a Tesseract frame. So we need a Tesseract frame. Perfect. Tesseract. And complete that. Assemble it. Yep, there it is. Sweet. Okay, so continuing on, we're going to need a lot of tech stuff. So a mob slaughter factory, an assembler. We should probably automate the atomic reconstructor and the empowerer, as well as the Enderic laser and the atomic forge. So I've got some stuff that I'm gonna set up here, and I'll bring you back once I've got that done, and I'll explain my automations.
Happy birthday, Taco!
Coming over to here, I put down some machines. I moved our Fortron production to over here in this barrel. Automated the circuit slicer, the crystal assembler, also the foundry, netherite furnace, the dissolution chamber. This is nice. Lets us do all of our upgrades that we want to with industrial foregoing. Also automated the assembler and the centrifuge. These machines, I just put importers on the back. So a pattern provider on the top and an importer on the back. Also, some mechanism machines here, and I went ahead and threw some upgrades in these. Um, Max upgrades by 32. I need some more for that, so let me actually do that. Let's grab 8 of these and 8 of these, and you can actually see, like, it's crazy fast. If I throw these in here and let's say grab some gold, throw that in the crushing factory, look at that, instantly done, a stack of gold. If we grab some redstone and put it in the enricher, instantly done. These store a ton of energy, 200 million RF in each. Like, that's kind of crazy. Oh, fell down a hole. But I also automated the fluxite crystal here with the laser. So what you have to do is take this target designator, and you shift right click on a budding amethyst and click on the laser and it'll shoot a laser at it. Currently it's not working because it's out of power. Like I said, this rainbow generator furnace is pretty disappointing. Like, I really don't know why it's not working, and it kind of sucks that it doesn't, because 50,000 RF per tick would be nice. Over here, where we used to have our blades there, put down some crafting CPUs and some pattern providers. This pack, I'm not going to do everything just on super passive. I'll actually set stuff up on request. Automating the Empower, I tried to use the item lasers and I just could not get them to work. So I don't know if they're buggy. If it's, I don't know, maybe it's buggy because I'm in the world engine room. I don't know. Who knows? I also automated the atomic reconstructor. So if I get some diamantine, let's say, if I want to craft like 10 of those, you can see that guy will start working there. That's pretty nice. Over here with chickens, I didn't really do anything, but then I did set up a mob farm. There's a passive mob farm here and a hostile mob farm here. The passive one is getting us pink slime and liquid meat. I also automated the energizing orb here, which is pretty simple. You just set it to blocking mode and lock crafting until primary crafting result is returned. And then I've just got a laser node here, pulling it out, putting it back into the pattern provider. Anything else to note that I did? I don't think so. So I think what we're going to do now is actually finish out this last bit of work here. So if we take our flux gate that we crafted, that's going to unlock this guy. And then we need to autocraft 16 of these World Engine Advanced machine blocks. We can actually click that here and set it. Let's see, it just takes power, 32,000 forge energy per tick. That's quite a bit. But we have all these things that we can make. We could also set this to craft that way, and then this is also crafting in the World Engine. So we could do that. We've got a bunch of eggs. You can see how long the game's been sitting and how long I've been doing stuff. So what we should be able to do is pop those in there. Pop this in here. If you're ever wondering why people put their patterns in this way, it's because this is one pattern provider. This is another pattern provider. And if I wanted to craft something that involved like all 9 items and they were all in the same pattern provider, it would be really slow to do it. But if you put them in different pattern providers, then like this one here, if I wanted to craft a bunch of dielectric paste, it'll spread it out between all these molecular assemblers. What we should be able to do is request 16 of these. That's going to take a little bit of a minute. We've got to make some machine frames. We've got to do a bunch of stuff. We'll see our Dissolution chamber kick on. We've got our assembler kicking on. What else? I think we're just making the flux gates. Oh, and the empower is kicking on too. So automations are kicking off, doing their thing. And then if we come down here, we should hear it start running. Now, because of our power problem, we are running into a little bit of an issue there. So I'm going to let this do its thing. All right. And there we have it. The World Engine upgrade, their next major upgrade. It's time to combine each of the pieces together to create the advanced machine blocks. Ooh, and we get a gift of the stone. Hopefully it's something good. Ender chests. Really? Really? Blaze gold? Come on, dude. Ender chests? That is so weak. All right, so we got to go talk to the Echo of the Catalyst. So let's head to spawn. Hey, buddy. Complete that. What do we unlock in our shop? Enderman. Ooh, the ultimate tier upgrade. Do you have the other one too? The elite? That's $630. I don't think I want to spend all my money on that. If there's anything in here that I particularly want. But we talked to him. Now we need to go back home. Ooh, unlocking Oblivion. With these world engine upgrades installed, you feel as though you are finally starting to master the world engine. Head back to the Echo of Guidance to see what comes next and unlock even more archives. So let's submit these and then we'll build it. It's going to teleport us there. Ooh. Our world engine is becoming more complete. Nice. For our last little bit here, let's go talk to the Catalyst guy. No, we already did that. We need to go talk to the Echo of Guidance. That's spawn. That's you. What else did you unlock in the shop? Ooh, random awakened gear. Random RF source. $65. Let's buy one. Project E gear. Let's buy 2 of those. So, RF source. Ah, another fuel generator. Okay. Ooh, the body stone. 2 body stones. Nice. Okay. Well, it heals us, so that's nice. And I think this is used, yeah, so we don't have to craft one of these. Bacon and a hamburger. Okay. What else? Let's see. Unlock this. Talk to that guy. Boom. And we've got Oblivion. Meet the Ancient. Meet the Worm, right? That's probably the first one that we'll do. And then do the... I gotta meet him first. Then we'll do the last one. We gotta do Sonic Evolution. That's gonna be another major upgrade for us. If I remember correctly, the Wormrite is somewhere over here. Wormrite. Hey, buddy. Ooh, Draconium. Neat. Oh, it's like some dragon skeletons. Interesting. Oh, the pedestals, so you can rotate them. Nice. Hey, buddy. What do you got? Advanced Dislocator, QIO. Ooh, another dragon head. Let's see. Oritech things. Oh, wow. The top tier add-ons. Fantastic. He wants us to craft 4 energy core stabilizers and crystal matrix blocks and an energy core. So let's bookmark these. Oh, that's simple, right? We could do that. That's also simple. That's also simple. Dude, we can do all this like immediately, right away. Let's rip this upgrade out real quick. One of these guys, 2 of those. Got our energy core, the crystal matrix ingot. We'll take a stack of diamond lettuce. Boom. Look at that. Easy peasy. And we got a gift of pebbles and enchanting table. Cool. Thanks, bud. If I go and talk to the guy now, it should do that upgrade, right? Let's submit, 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 and then assemble. Now, I think that we can store energy in here even. So the way that you actually store power in the orb itself is you take these energy pylons and they just need to be somewhere within the vicinity. I'm not sure what the radius is, but you can just put it above or below, something like that. You put the pylon down and then you put a piece of glass in between the pylon and the ball. And you can actually shift right click or right click on the ball itself to change it from inserting to extracting. So here it's inserting into the ball. Here it's extracting from it. So up here, I've just got a gate coming down. You can see it's extracting. There's not anything in the ball, but I can click on the ball and then it will start to rush energy into there. And now you can see it's full. So this is just a tier 1 size, which is pretty small, but you can level it up. So if you took this guy and turned the power off, you can actually tier it all the way up to like the max size, and you can turn on the build guide and you can see how big this is going to be. And it takes a bunch of draconium on the lower ones. It takes redstone, and then it has a layer of draconium on the outside. On the top tier, it's draconium surrounded by awakened draconium, and you can actually do in a automatically set it up to assemble it on its own like that. But yeah, that's how to set that up. And then I think in the future what I'll probably do even possibly is setting up the power crystals from draconic. These crystals are super powerful. They can move a lot of energy in and out. It does take the draconic crafting to get to them, but we'll probably get to that in the future. I think that is going to be it for today's episode. I think what I might do, just with as busy as I've been, is crank out and get a bunch of stuff recorded, do some editing with it, and the next episode might be the last episode. It might be a long episode, but I might just finish the pack. There's a lot of stuff that is left to do, but I might just kind of sit down and record, and the last one will be a big one. So let me know in the comments how you guys feel about that. Remember, we do have a Discord. There is a members server that is running Money Factory right now. There is a new update coming soon for Money Factory. I think like the 0.13 update. They're talking about it being a big update that's going to be finishing it. So if you're interested in that, you can join the members channel, the members YouTube channel. Go ahead, check the description for a link to the Discord and a link to my Patreon if you're interested in supporting the channel. But that's going to be it for today. And thanks for stopping in.